Hello, all my YouTube friends. This is Fossilsaurus. I'm going to do something a little bit differently this video, and maybe a couple others, since it kind of was coming to my attention that a lot of the still boxed things that I have are marine organisms. It would only be fair to kind of move over to some land-based things. So I decided to bring out some of my collection and just look at them, go over some of the land-based animals. This may not look like a whole lot. This may not look like much, but I think it is very cool. It comes from an animal called the Desmatosuchus, which is an aetosaur, which is a type of nodosaur. They are not too far off from ankylosaurs. They're from the late Triassic, which is pretty cool. There's not a whole lot of stuff, especially dino stuff from the Triassic. There's much less available, so it is very cool when you find something like that. Now these guys were very cool looking. They had a general ankylosaur shape. They were quadrupedal. They had armor along their back and their tail. They didn't have any clubs or anything like that, but they had armor along the back, and along the edges of the armors of the back they had spikes sticking out. And when different species had different types of spikes and different setups and different patterns and so on, but a common one was what the Desmatosuchus had, which was right by the shoulders. The spikes got much bigger, as you'll see in some pictures. So they had massive shoulder blades, not the technical shoulder blades, but blades on the shoulders. So, and this just happens to be one of those. So I think it's very cool. This was not the first one. It's not the largest one, but I believe it is one of the second ones, because they I think generally have 3 large spikes on their shoulders. First one is massive, second one is very big, third one is still much larger than the ones along the side, but smaller than the others. As you can see, it's kind of flat on the bottom. I believe that it well, I know it connects here, but I believe it connects like this, and because I know the spikes do go at an upward angle, so I believe this is how the connection goes. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less, but I'm fairly certain, just by the way this is, that if you put something flat in there, it's going to be at an upward angle. So that is my impression of these. These guys had much shorter forelimbs than hind limbs, so they had kind of a crouched appearance almost. Personally, I think it's very cute. They look like cute animals. They're not tiny. They can get I think 4 and 5 meters is about an average. That's probably the large average of what we find. They do have small heads, relatively small heads. They're not tiny, and they have what I think is very cute little faces. Some might call them little piggy faces. Some might say they have little shovel snouts. It's very unusual for them. Desmatosuchus in particular has a more unusual face than a lot of the other aetosaurs. So that's why I particularly like Desmatosuchus more than a lot of the others. Like I said, they're late Triassic, so these guys are from 228 to 210 million years ago. That's a lot of time. So generally found in North America, the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Wyoming. There's just I mean, I'll put up the pictures and you can see most of the family at a quick glance looks very similar, but if you really take a moment to look, there is a very wide variety of, like I said, the pattern of spikes. Like some of them, instead of spikes, it's more plates. The way they're held, different angles, the amount of them. So it's pretty interesting. Very cool, very unique animals. I've always loved them a lot, which is why I was just absolutely thrilled to come across this. Of course, it would be awesome if it had the tip, but I'm not going to complain. I mean, fossils go through so much that if there's a little part missing, then if you have most of it, you really came out on top still. As you can see, this one appears to have broken at some point and has been fixed. I didn't do this. I got it like this, so somebody else fixed it up for me. I mean, that's not that uncommon. I think I've mentioned that before with a pliosaur tooth, like the tips and so on can easily break off. And something like this, I mean, just look at that. That could, and it's not flimsy, but as far as things go, does it look like it's too difficult to snap if there's not care taken with it. So I try and take good care of it. It is not one of my larger pieces, so it's not going to be in a major spot on my wall when I am able to get it up, but I will make sure that it has a nice reserved spot somewhere. I love it, and it's definitely one of the more special things of what I have, I think. So yeah, I'm just very happy to have it. I would love to get more Nodosaur, but like I said, it's extremely hard to find. I've been keeping my eyes out for years and years and years, and this was the only time, this one thing was the only time I ever came across one. Wasn't super cheap, but with real nice people, especially friends that you make in the, I don't want to say in the business, but sometimes they'll be willing to let you kind of do like a layaway thing, like pay a little bit this month and then a little bit next month, and then you can build up and actually get something that would be significantly more than you could afford otherwise, which I've had to do on quite a few things, because I do have a number of very impressive, pretty expensive pieces that there's no way I could have afforded, but the people were either friends or were becoming friends, and they would allow me to pay over 6 months or 9 months or something like that. So there's some good people out there, really good people. They understand the situation, and usually they're willing to help. So that has been quite a boon for me. So always appreciate other people, and you can always ask. You might think they won't. It doesn't hurt to ask. I've been turned down by that before, but if you ask nicely, they'll be very nice about turning you down. So if it's something that is just out of your range and you think you can do it over like a layaway, then it's worth asking. So well, yeah, that's about it for this guy. These guys are a little bit further off from the dino, from dinosaurs. They are somewhere not in between, but they are kind of headed a little bit in the direction of crocodilians, saurischians, than a lot of other dinosaurs, but they are still dinosaurs. Nodosaurs are dinosaurs, so they're just closer than some to crocodilians, or the crocodilians of the time, the crocodilomorphs. So, Well, thank you very much. Thanks for watching the video. I am thrilled that you made it through, if you made it through. If you like this, please give me a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Please subscribe if you like my videos. I'm still going to try and bump out a bunch more to get some content out there for a little while. Maybe try and get a dozen or 15 out in the next like week or two. Then I'll slow down some. But especially once I slow down, if you want to stay on top of catching them whenever they come out, subscription would be great. I'm so far still from being able to do any giveaways or raffles, so if you want to support, I will put my Patreon shortcut up, and it would be unbelievably appreciated. Thank you all so much. It means a lot to me. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you. I love you all.